Once there was a lovely gal that everyone called Snow White. She was very beautiful and happy and kind and bright. Snow White's stepmom was an evil queen who had a magic mirror on the wall. And every day the queen would ask,
"Who is the fairest of all?"
The mirror then would quickly say,
"You are the fairest, yes, you."
But one day, to the queen's surprise, the mirror said something brand new. "You, my lovely queen, very pretty and quite fair, but with Snow White you do not compare." And then the queen was very mad. She called in a hunter that day.
"Take Snow White to the forest right now and leave her without delay."
The hunter listened to the queen and then went and found Snow White. He took her through the forest so green, but somehow it didn't feel right. He couldn't hurt Snow White when he saw her lovely face. He quickly slipped away and he left her in that place. All the animals helped Snow White. They led her to a small home that day. It was owned by 7 dwarves
who were busily working away.
Snow White cleaned up and made a meal. Then she laid across 3 of their beds. The 7 dwarves soon came back home,
and this is what all of them said.
"Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, home from work we come. Someone cleaned our house, they picked up every crumb." Then they went and saw Snow White, who woke up and whispered,
"Hello."
She then told them all about herself, everything they wanted to know. She stayed with the dwarves and learned their names, singing them out with glee.
Happy Dopey, Sleepy Dog, Sneezy, Bashful, Grumpy.
Back in the castle, the evil queen called out to her mirror on the wall. Once again she proudly asked,
"Who is the fairest of all?"
"You, my lovely queen, very pretty and quite fair, but with Snow White you do not compare. She's living in a cottage with 7 little men. She's still the fairest, I'll say it once again." And so the queen disguised herself to look like a little old maid. She went to the home of the 7 dwarves,
and Snow White she quickly betrayed.
She gave Snow White a poison apple, and Snow White did take a big bite. She fell down in a very sound sleep,
much to the queen's great delight.
The dwarves came home and they found Snow White. They screamed and yelled with shock and fright. At last a prince came riding by. He heard all the howling and screams. He took one look at the lovely Snow White.
He knew this was the girl of his dreams.
The dwarves told the prince about the queen and all of the evil she did. The prince broke the mirror and scolded the queen.
She then ran away and she hid.
The prince kissed Snow White And much to his surprise, she stood up tall and she opened up her eyes. And so the prince cried out with joy, and he married the lovely Snow White. The 7 dwarfs all laughed and cheered.
Oh, what a marvelous sight!
Here's to the wonderful, beautiful, fabulous, sweet and terrific Snow White.